The second thing that maybe I just want to point out is to state that you referred to us graduating from position 8 as to position 6 in terms of economic size in the continent. That is good progress, and I really mean what we said when we had grounds yesterday, that this could not have happened without the input of our human resource at whatever level and in whatever sector that they are involved in. You will appreciate that our mineral resources are very limited, at least so far. We haven't really gone into that space. We are now looking at the blue economy. We are looking at growth in our service sector and so forth. So primarily, Kenya's largest resource, and indeed Africa's, is more of the human resource. We have the demographic challenges, and I repeat that technology innovation is required to really unleash the potential of the very many young people who want to be involved. But until we have the sweeteners, I call them that, technology-related ways of them engaging, we may not get them into the actual production lines sooner enough. So your innovation is so critical. Your research is so critical. Data is so important. Hygienic data, accurate data. It's going to be so critical in the way we move forward. And the reality is that when the facts change, then we have to change our approach. So the more we get accurate information, scientifically driven and obtained, then we will have no option as a continent, as a country, as a government, as a people to change, because that is what we should do. When the facts change, we must change. And the facts will come through your research. So we definitely look forward to ensuring that that happens. It can be very dangerous for any nation if that nation is being driven by unskilled and unlettered populations. So we need to have the skill, and we need to have them educated. The two must go together. And the researchers play a very, very integral part in ensuring this. The question I wanted to ask is, I was looking at a section of the media, for instance, I'm not saying that people who have done the wrong things should get away scot-free. But we had a bad week, the Gen Z week, sometime last year. We hope that we don't see that again going into the future. But 3 weeks after Kenya's Gen Z debacle, I think it was somewhere in the UK that we saw another technology-driven episode. and people were ramming into people's houses and causing mayhem and creating matters of insecurity or dealing with it. But one thing that people forgot, that the courts in the UK took only 2 weeks, and they locked up some of those transgressors for up to 3 years. Whether it was a court in Liverpool or a court where, these people were jailed within 3 weeks for between 2 years to 3 years. Do you know, in Kenya's situation, no Gen Z was jailed. They were being let out on fines of 500 shillings, bonds. There you are. Can you imagine if a Kenyan court had jailed somebody in 3 weeks? So sometimes the approach is not exactly even in the level of criticism that is loaded onto nations. But what is important is that even then, they were able to express themselves. They still bring out those stories and so forth. Because again, we believe in the freedom of the press. They have spoken. And we move on. And we had a very famous president called Kibaki, Mwai Kibaki. And may his soul rest in eternal peace. He would tell you this: if you're worried about the headline of the day, he'll tell you, okay, pick that one. Bring me the newspapers for the last 3-4 days. And then he says, okay, look at that headline, and the other one, and the other one. What do you think? They have changed. So he says, you people, do your work. Don't worry too much about the headlines. Because what was prevailing yesterday is not going to prevail next week. So I walk away from this podium with those words reverberating, that let us soldier on, and your research is good for the country, for Africa. Let us push it as we go ahead. And I can assure you that the government of Kenya will continue to protect all Kenyans, all foreigners, all investors, all partners, all institutions that operate within the country. And within the international fora, we shall also play our role to be reasonable members of the international community. Your continued support will enhance the key elements of the strategy, including improving market access and security, and guarantee better returns for farmers, ensuring affordable food for our citizens, enhancing agricultural exports, and reducing trade deficits, at the same time expanding value-added commercial agriculture and empowering the youth and women in agribusiness. Our target is to grow agriculture's gross domestic product by 6% annually to $3.9 billion by 2029, driven by high-impact value chains in dairy, horticulture, rice, and grains. Smallholder farmers are at the center of this agricultural transformation journey. Through input financing, digital platforms, agribusiness training, and infrastructure investments, we aim to raise the average incomes of 3.3 million small-scale producers by at least 35% lifting communities out of poverty, and building their resilience to climate shocks. The success of our strategy will depend on how we manage climate change risks, including prolonged droughts, unpredictable rainfall, floods, and soil degradation. Our urgent responses includes setting ambitious targets in the National Climate Change Action Plan and the Kenya Climate Smart Agriculture Implementation Framework. These include reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 32%, increasing our national tree cover to 10%, restoring degraded lands, and expanding climate smart agriculture. We are investing more in soil health, agroforestry, renewable energy, efficient rice production, and sustainable land management. Greater collaboration with ILRI and CGIAR, particularly in data technology, financing, and capacity, will enable us to achieve our goals. Let us jointly develop climate-resilient technologies and decision tools, enhance monitoring, reporting and verification, scale up inclusive farmer-centered innovations, and engage our youth in climate-smart agribusiness. Together, we need to tackle systemic challenges to the growth potential of our agricultural sector. These include high post-harvest losses, inadequate market linkages, and rural infrastructure, insecure land tenure, low adoption of climate-smart agriculture practices, fragmented institutional coordination, and low access to affordable financing. The moment is here for all of us as government, researchers, private sector, farm organizations, partners, and other stakeholders to deepen our collaboration in translating science into scalable action. You have the knowledge, partnerships, and global platforms to accelerate transformation. Deliver evidence-based solutions that help to improve farm-level outcomes and enable us to build a productive, nutritious, and climate-resilient and equitable food system. Let us define a sustainable roadmap from research for knowledge to research for transformation, and walk this journey together, driven by our common vision of prosperity for our people and our planet. Asante sana. The question I wanted to ask is, I hope you feel safe. That is very important, because we normally take this particular question for granted. We have to consolidate our democracy. We have to consolidate our democratic practices. We have to have people talking and working freely. That is how we build a better nation. So I asked you that question, do you feel safe? And the answer is yes. This is important because we take this space for granted. And one needs to just take a step back and reflect. How many heads of state on the African continent get as much criticism on a daily basis from the media like the Kenyan president? And how many of them would tolerate it? But here you are, this this bombardment is there every day, to the extent that what comes out of ILRI, the positive research that you come up with, the good innovations that you bring out that have immense impact on the people, are drowned in this din. People don't realize that so much is going on. And that is why some are even shocked that in spite of the noise and all this battering, Kenya has now risen to the 6th largest economy in Africa. And in the process, they are hesitating to acknowledge it because they want to paint the picture that Kenya is in shambles. It is not. Our institutions function. When the government loses cases in court, it should not always be taken as a vilification against the government. It should also be seen from the prism that even the judiciary is independent enough to make a decision if it feels that the government has transgressed. This is the benefit of having a true democracy. We are really being tested as a people. But I can tell you, when the facts come out, even those who are rigid will eventually have to change. So I want to encourage you that let us remain focused, let us continue moving forward. The country will always have its elections in the cycle, as agreed in our constitution. People forget that Kenya has always held elections every 5 years since independence. Religiously. Every 5 years. Whether it was within the single-party state or whether it is when we are in a multi-party state. All this is to build institutions that can help us work. So I just wanted to encourage you, as researchers, as scientists, please do your research, don't keep on looking over your shoulder. We want you to really focus and give good results for the people. I really appreciate that I've had an opportunity to spend the morning with you today. When we met earlier, we made this date, as it were. So in simple language, we did not bounce each other on this one. So I'm happy that we have honored this commitment. First, let me assure you that from the government perspective, we will continue to work together. That's why I came here, to really reassure you that it is our intention now and into the future that we continue partnering very, very closely. From the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you have good collaboration. I have my ambassador there, McKenna, and we are going to review the Privileges and Immunities Act because we want to refine the environment that will help us work with the international community even more closely as we go forward. As you are aware, we host the UNEP and Habitat, and there's massive investment that is programmed to really consolidate Nairobi as a critical hub for the global south. And therefore, in anticipation of what is likely to be happening here, we have to relook at the Powers and Privileges Act to make it more user-friendly and more accommodating to the changes that are taking place. I am delighted to join you this morning during this forum hosted by the International Livestock Research Institute. This gathering of leaders, scientists, researchers, partners, and stakeholders of the consultative group of international agricultural research institutions and aligns our joint commitment to transforming agriculture and building a food-secure world for all humanity. Let me take this opportunity to appreciate ILRI, which has developed a strong partnership with the government and the people of Kenya in our agricultural sector, public health systems, and climate action agenda. Kenya is proud to host ILRI and other CGIAR research centers. You have established a world-class science hub that supports transformative programs in livestock genetics, vaccine development, land restoration, climate adaptation, and innovative food systems that enormously contribute to the global knowledge on agriculture and food security. ILRI has a long-standing collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development and key institutions under the ministry, including the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, the Department of Veterinary Services, the Kenya Animal Genetic Resource Center, and the Kenya Dairy Board. Some of them have been with us here. Joint initiatives by ILRI and CGIAR and these government agencies have significantly strengthened Kenya's agricultural research ecosystem, enhanced the delivery of innovations, and ensured that farmers and pastoralists on the ground benefit from practical, science-driven solutions. Furthermore, your enduring partnership with the Ministry of Health and health research institutions, including the Kenya Medical Research Institute and universities, has greatly enhanced our knowledge and systems for delivering quality healthcare. Your continued support for our testing and diagnostic systems enhances our joint commitment to a One Health approach that links human, animal, and environmental health. We also acknowledge your engagement with the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, particularly through the Kenya Wildlife Service. The gazettement of Kapiti Ranch as a conservancy demonstrates the potential of science-led conservation. I am aware of land-related issues, but rest assured that the government is committed to resolving them to ensure research continuity, environmental stewardship, and community benefits. These collaborative initiatives across ministries and agencies provide critical support to our agricultural sector transformation and growth strategy, enhancing the role of government as the backbone of our economy, transforming agriculture into a dynamic, modern, and commercially viable sector will enable us to deliver food and nutrition security, create jobs, and drive inclusive growth in line with the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda.